Acer Nitro 5 laptop monitor incident. So yeah, the Acer Nitro 5 laptop monitor incident is insane. So we'll just talk about the story time because this happened recently. Well, in 2025, around the beginning of the year, I'd say around February, but we'll talk about it right now. So my most prized possession that I have with me, not just to play video games and mess around and try attempt to apply for jobs and do other sorts of work for life. The Acer Nitro 5 has also helped me, create some videos. Well, a lot of my videos that were more high quality instead of me just, doing them on the phone. Not as a last minute resort, but more of a backup way of doing it. It's sort of like a mix and match. It's like a freestyle way. But yeah, this laptop comes in handy. Microphones are compatible except for the first one I bought back in 2022. That one didn't even work, but thankfully my Logitech works, and now it's almost on its last leg. But it's mainly the cord that doesn't want to bend it a certain way to keep it from not working the connection. But we're gonna talk about the 20. I got it in 2020 around the springtime, around the March, April, May, around that time during like when the pandemic of the virus was going out and getting all over the world. And yeah, the laptop, honestly, it standed the test of time. And I have heard, at least from a family member, they say the laptop will last you at least 5 years. And it's kind of crazy that 5 years have gone by, and sort of do wish I could go back, but that's not the case. They were talking about what happened to the monitor. Keep lisping monitor at the monitor, but I want to make sure it picks up on the mic. So yeah, around I think early 2025, I have the monitor. It's working on my Acer, which is standing the test of time. Appreciate it. And what happened was I have it's sort of like a pseudo job, not a secret job, but I'd go and help my neighbors, mainly to like look after their dogs for a specific standard of time where I'd go over at least for an hour and check on the dogs, make sure they're doing all good, and give them a treat, like at least one beef jerky or half a beef jerky because there's two dogs, one bigger, one smaller. It was nice. I do get money, but it's on a different. It's all it all feels like a different deposit, but I could use it to spend it on stuff, but I've only done it for vacation stuff. But I can cut this out. One thing I can say is it was nice, and one day, like usual, when it's like you go through your day and it's like, oh, it's just like every other day. Nothing too crazy is gonna happen, but you have that mentality where you don't know it, but if you did know it, like if you were like a kooky guy who was always like scared and being paranoid of your surroundings, like Final Destination style, secretly I didn't know something was crazy was gonna happen. So I go over, I go to check the dogs, I come back, and then the craziest thing I saw, went back to my laptop, and the monitor was cracked. I wasn't shocked, but I kind of was. Like I couldn't, you know, too many life situations happens where sometimes you react to things and it's not like, oh my gosh, but it's more like, oh my gosh. Because yeah, a more over the top reaction would be definitely happen. It happens more like in a video game scenario, but this is gonna connect because I come back, I'm like, oh no, my monitor. It still kind of works because the crack is like on the left side from my point of view, and I can still see a bit of the monitor, but it's like I can still have enough optimism to be like, I can still use it. I can still use the laptop, outside of having to use it on my trusty main monitor. But then trying to mess with it, see if I can fix it, just I don't know, see if I can flick the screen or do one of those tricks where people record themselves, having a broken TV or maybe not monitor, but like a broken TV. They hit it and it automatically fixes. Didn't happen here. It got worse, and now it's just a black screen. I can't see anything. It transformed into like an old computer, gaming specifically, since it's the Acer Nitro 5 from 2020, and yeah, now I'm starting to realize it's on its last leg, and I think the F8, yeah, the F8 key is literally out, which is insane. The F8 key is, yep. I just realized this right now while I'm making this video, and honestly, I'm not really. It's not really a sad situation, since obviously you gotta adapt to these situations, and you just learn through time, and yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Now it's like a regular gaming computer, but it's slower now since it's on its quote unquote last leg from the whole 5-year warranty, you know, not official warranty from from the place I got it from, which is Best Buy, but yeah. And it already showed signs that it was on its last leg, because I had it fixed like over 3, 4, like 5 times. The first time I did it was because it wasn't working, and it always click off. And whenever, or not click off, what am I saying? I'd say it'll be in a specific browser because I keep pulling up too many monitors, not monitors, too many search tabs. I pull up too many search tabs, and what happens is if you pull too many and you're not having like a monster machine, or you keep using your computer over and over and over again, just wearing it out, it will crash and it'll restart, and then you gotta go back in, maybe sign in, and then you can try to use it again, but it'll keep itself going on a loop. It'll shut down, restart, shut down. I couldn't use it the first time. That's when I got it fixed. It was a major deal. Best Buy gave me a free USB drive with all my stuff in it, and it was nice because there was one game that I had on it. It was a FNAF fan game, which is like some like goofy test demo that I kept, but thankfully I still have it. Definitely gotta make a video on that, but I can't get too sidetracked. Then the other couple of times that it's happened was, I'd say, probably the same thing, either another restart, or no, not a restart. It was like, maybe it was super laggy, or maybe this issue was the same over and over again. The first time it may have crashed. The second time, yeah, can't pull up too many tabs open, especially if your computer's old, because then they'll get ruined. But I'm not, yeah, but I'll disclose I'm not a computer expert, but this is what happened, and yeah, it was a bit of a shame. But now it works, thankfully. It's still functional. The only issue now is that I can't play games. That's how I can end the video. So because it's just laggy, but it doesn't. It's different from the whole monitor situation, because I know I have a family member in here who plays specifically Madden on the freaking PS5, and I suspect that family member had a bad time on Madden and ended up throwing the PS5 controller, which miraculously only hurt the monitor, which is fine, because as long as the other part was not destroyed where it couldn't function, then I probably wouldn't have to put a bigger dent on my wallet for needing to buy a computer. But thankfully it can wait, and hopefully, I can get a better computer, so I could definitely, hopefully, make some more videos on the computer. But I can wait. You just gotta work with what you have, and yeah, that's the whole story time. It's a bit of it just kind of went off on a tangent, but I'd say to summarize what happened, the long story short is I have my laptop. It at least lasted 5 years, and now the screen doesn't work because I suspect my family member got mad at Madden, threw the PS5 controller, and only broke the screen. But yeah, it's tough, but hey, doesn't mean I'm not going to stop making more videos. I'll definitely be making some videos with the laptop, but it won't be like gameplays. to support it. It'll probably be pictures or videos that I collect through just recording, because that's like the one thing I could only do. And I might actually plan one video to do with it, but that'll depend on time. But yeah, other than that, that was the story time on how, or just the Nitro 5 laptop monitor incident. And hey, that story was crazy. Moral of the story, protect your laptops, especially if you don't have an extra computer. Extra computer. Always struggling with these words. I gotta read more. Yep, that's the end of the video. Maybe I can say it again. Moral of the story, protect your laptops if you don't have an extra computer or laptops or laptop-like technologies.